Hello. Well, it's turned into one of those days where it keeps raining on and off. So I had planned to start painting these arches that I made the other day for the show jumping fillers, but haven't really been able to do anything. But what I did manage to do, because it was GCSE results day, so I went to school, and on the way back I went to B&Q to buy the paint and stuff. So let's just have a quick look at what I bought. Oh yes, before I start, this stuff, I figured out what it actually was, because it was really tough to cut with the circular saw. And the reason is, I hadn't really worked out what it was, but it's some kind of resin board or something. It was I think it was an old worktop. So it's got a wooden sheet on one side, very thin sheet on one side, and oh, that's the other side, one side, and one that's much more plasticky. I'm not sure if this is real wood or plastic, on the other side, and in between it looks like kind of fiberboard bonded with resin, and basically as soon as it gets hot it just melts. So anything with a high-speed tool was just not cutting through it properly, and it actually turned out much easier to cut using a handsaw. So anyway, because it's got a plastic side to it, I didn't know quite what to paint it with. So I've come up with a couple of options. One of them that I saw was this. It says all surface paint, exterior, wood, metal, plastic, ceramics. So, and it says no primer. So I thought I could give it a go with that. Or I've got this sort of exterior gloss with the undercoat to go with it, which actually I kind of needed because I was going to repaint the window sills and window frames at home, but I haven't got around to doing that yet, again because the weather's been a bit bad. So I've got those options, but I think I'll probably start with this one. I'll give it a go and see whether it sticks and whether it stays okay, because it's going to get knocked about a bit, but it's not sort of essential that it stays perfect. And to put some filler, because there are a few bits. This one's not too bad, but there are some bits where I accidentally hacked through it with the circular saw. So I thought I'd get some of this wood filler. There's some Ronseal wood filler in B&Q, but this was the B&Q own version, which is a lot cheaper. It was only about £4. The Ronseal one was about a quarter of the size and £5.50 or something. So I've got some of that to just fill in any kind of major gaps. And because this is very shiny, I thought it needs roughing down a bit, and rather than me having to go over it with a sanding block by hand, I thought I would buy myself one of these. That's one of those flexible pads to go in a drill, or a circular, or an angle grinder or something, and it attaches to the abrasive pads with Velcro on. So I bought some abrasive pads as well. Oh, that was noisy. Okay, I bought some abrasive pads as well, and really rather foolishly didn't really check them. I mean, to be honest, they were the only circular ones that were in the shop, but I didn't really check whether they had Velcro on the back. And when I got them out, obviously they didn't. So they're obviously designed for one where you put the fixing through the hole and sort of screw it down somehow. So what I did was I used some glue, some contact adhesive, and glued some bits of Velcro to the back, so that it will stick onto there, hopefully. It's not quite central, but that's stuck onto there with the Velcro, and I need to see now whether that actually works. Okay, this is one of the feet for the arches. So the arch slots into here and this holds it upright, and this is the shiny surface, and I've mounted it in the Workmate so that it's just above the level of the Workmate, so I can sand it down on the top. And I've put my sanding disc into the cordless drill, so let's give it a first go and see if it actually does anything, or if the sanding disc just flies off. Well, I'm not going very fast, am I? Well, that's the cordless for you. It's not flying off. It is making some sort of an impression So a little bit of elbow grease, and this should roughen it down a bit so that the paint will take. So I'll do that while it's not raining and paint it up another day. Actually, my cordless drill ran out of battery almost as soon as I'd started, so I've just done this one and one other using the cordless drill to start with, but then using the sanding block. And I'm going to wipe down with Terps or white spirit, and I'm going to just give it a go and see whether the paint sort of sticks, whether it looks okay, whether it's going to be thick enough, glossy enough, whatever. So I'll just do these two now. Using this one, let's lever it open, if I can lever it open. It's going to take a while. No, need a bigger screwdriver. Okay, let's get a bigger thing. Here we go, this is a Hive tool, and it looks like it should get a bit more of it under the lip, so let's try and lever that up. It's not easy with just one hand, but it does feel like it's coming off. There we go, lid's off. Oh, lovely. I also bought 3 cheap brushes from B&Q. They're not quite the cheapest I could got. I could have gone to Pound Shop actually and got some even cheaper, but I'm going to try and use the biggest one because I want to slap the paint on really quickly. And it is actually starting to spit with rain. Might just be able to see on there. So I'm going to do this very quickly and then take them into the garage and leave them there. Well, here are the things that I've painted. You can see that it's taken quite well on the kind of shiny solid surfaces, but on the cut pieces where it's just the fiberboard, it's really soaking in the paint, so it's going to need several coats anyway. So I think I've done enough that I can for today. I'll come back to them another day once these are dry.